Welcome to Meridian News Now. I'm Brandie Yates.
And I'm Julie Dunmire.
Empty storefronts in the township, something being faced in critical areas of our community.
Yes, a popular topic of the local election, developments to seemingly abandoned areas of the township, like downtown Okemos and more specifically Hazlet Village Square. That's our top story tonight. The well-established Hazlet Village Square shopping center is losing businesses. The most recent establishment to leave the PNC Bank on the corner of Hazlet and Marsh Roads. Our HOMTV's Elizabeth Crenshaw is investigating that story.
This storefront is empty. This storefront is empty. And even this former grocery store is unoccupied. Here at Hazlet Village Square, 22 out of 36 storefronts are vacant. Hazlet Village Square is located at the southwest corner of Hazlet and Marsh Roads. The well-established 101,000 square foot neighborhood shopping center now looks like a ghost town, with multiple retail and service spaces available for lease. I spoke with two Hazlet residents who wanted to remain anonymous, and they said they don't understand why multiple businesses left the plaza and why so many spots are still empty. I reached out to property manager CBRE Martin for answers.
Hello, I'm looking for some information on the Hazlet Village Square property.
But no one was available to comment. CBRE Martin's website showcases the location as the place to be, with retail buildings 1 and 2 housing Hallmark, Little Caesars Pizza, the French Hair Design, the Village Laundry, and now closed Hazlet Pharmacy, and the Hazlet Plus building housing Edward Jones and Company, Mr. R's A Plus Driving School, Hungry Howie's Pizza, and Tari's Dance Studio. But the newest addition to CBRE Martin's vacancy list is the PNC Hazlet branch, which closes doors October 21st of this year. I called the Pittsburgh-based PNC Financial Services, and no one would comment. But a spokesperson for PNC released a statement saying, PNC is committed to meeting the needs of its customers who increasingly use online and mobile banking. As the number of customers banking electronically has increased, the demand for bank branches has decreased. The Meridian Township Planning Commission says there are no future plans for Hazlet Village Square or PNC. In Hazlet, Elizabeth Crenshaw, HOMTV.
HOMTV is still investigating the recent closures of multiple businesses at Hazlet Village Square, and we'll bring you more information when it becomes available.
New developments to the township at a deserted golf course. A Costco warehouse that will be almost 160,000 square feet is proposed for construction at the former Four Winds Golf Course. HOMTV's Sydney Robinson is at the potential site with more. Sydney?
Costco warehouse that will be built right here on the corner of Park Lane and Saginaw Highway. The permit was needed because there will be no pedestrian entrance from Saginaw Street, and 50 bike stalls are required from Meridian Township in East Lansing. Ted Johnson, the owner of TJ Design Strategies, feels that 50 bike stalls will collect litter and be a maintenance headache. The Planning Commission waived the bike stall requirement and unanimously voted to recommend approval of the rezoning of the site plan and the special use permit. The City of East Lansing Council is expected to hold a public hearing in December and take action in January on the proposed development of Costco. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sydney. And if Park Lake Road is part of your commute, there's going to be some end-of-season construction. The final phase of the Park Lake Road project between Grand River Avenue and Merritt Road in East Lansing is resuming work. It started last week. Park Lake Road is closed from Hazlet to Merritt Road. This project is to replace a culvert and widen the road for a southbound left turn lane heading towards Hazlet.
The project is substantially completed. We have a couple items to finish up. Behind me, we're working on the retaining wall. It's right around 30 years old, and the top portion of that is starting to fail, so we're going to make a repair.
Different route, the closure should be done before snow hits.
Two properties that were previously approved for purchase at a recent township board meeting were up to vote at the Planning Commission's October 24th meeting. The Planning Commission unanimously voted to preserve two different areas, a 2.25 acre area on Carlton Street, which was donated to the township, and a 13.25 acre wetland at 2819 Mount Hope Road that will be purchased.
Piece of land that cannot possibly be developed, and it's a good thing for the township to purchase this one, and especially since it's a donation, which is either the purchase price of choice, and it'll be, it'll connect the other two pieces, and it's just good for the wildlife corridor and green space.
The Planning Commission feels that the invasive species management program will improve both of these newly preserved areas.
And happy Halloween! On the spookiest day of the year, we take a look back at how we celebrated right here in Meridian Township. There were witches, princesses, and many kids there to enjoy a tasty treat and get a look inside our HOMTV control room and studio. The Meridian Township Police Department also had an open house with a line out the door. Kids got to look at what it would be like to be a police officer.
It was hard getting them out of here just to come over here because they liked all the attractions that were over there.
Hi. Welcome to Control Township with trick-or-treating tonight from 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, now you're in a forest of trees. 14% of families in Meridian are low income, and the township's emergency needs fund helps those facing financial hardships. Meridian Township helps those in need through the Meridian Cares fundraising efforts.
My office helps, somewhere around 500 households a year to get out of their financial crises.
And this year there are 2 events residents can get involved with on Meridian. For the Meridian Cares event, there's a wine tasting event at Dusty's on December 1st, along with the silent auction. If you want to get involved or attend, tickets will be $60 each or 2 for $100. And if you cannot go to the wine tasting, you can always come into the township building to buy a snowflake. If you would like to donate or learn more about Meridian Cares, visit the township website.
Such a great cause. And coming up, important voter information for next week's big election.
And we take a look at the treasurer's race on the campaign trail. That's after the break on Meridian News Now, your source for community news. Watch Ballot Meridian election programs on HOMTV for award-winning election coverage for the last 28 years. We provide in-depth one-on-one candidate interviews and live call-in debates. We will be live on election night until the last ballot is counted and reported at the local level. Watch Ballot Meridian election programs, your source for election information, only on HOMTV.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Whether it's in the senior center or out in the community, senior living helps older adults get the most out of Ingham County. Watch Senior Living on HOMTV.
Welcome back. Election season in its home stretch, and there are some important things to know before you hit the polls. The general election is Tuesday, November 8th. Polls open at 7 in the morning and close at 8 in the evening. And if you'd like to vote absentee, your last day to submit your ticket is November 5th from 8 a.m. to 2 o'clock. In order to vote on election day, you must bring a photo ID or sign an affidavit that you are not in possession of a picture ID. And just a friendly reminder, you can't take selfies in the polls, but hopefully everyone learns from Justin Timberlake's mistakes, like this photo posted to social media.
And are you ready to vote in the upcoming November 8th election? Many people in Meridian Township have already started and are heading to the polls early to vote. HOMTV's Raquel Harrington has the latest.
8,000. That's the number of people expected to vote absentee this upcoming election. In some states, this is known as early voting.
Absentee ballots allow voters who are either not going to be able to be at the polling location, who have medical or other impairments that prevent them from being able to vote at the polling location, and allows them to have a ballot mailed to them, or they can pick up and take home with them.
Residents like Med Webster, who's going to be out of town, or in his case, out of the country, voting absentee was the perfect solution.
I would have missed out on my right to vote if I didn't have this opportunity. And plus, there's no line. I just came in. It took about 3 minutes to get my ballot. I was in and out, and it made voting really easy.
People may enjoy the quick and easy aspect of voting, but for some,
it gives you a little more time to look over the ballot if you haven't done all of your homework. Especially in judges' races, I want to know who I'm voting for. And by having the absentee ballot, being at home, it gives me time to do that kind of homework, if you will, and research on all the candidates.
Each day, more and more people are requesting, voting, and turning in absentee ballots. When voting absentee, residents have the option of doing one of three things: sending their ballot in through the mail, bringing it right here to the municipal building, or if it's after hours, coming right here to the drop box and turning in your absentee ballot. No matter which method voters use to submit their ballots, it's important that everyone exercises their right to vote. In Meridian Township, Raquel Harrington, HOMTV.
And if you're voting absentee, you must have all your voted ballots returned to the Meridian Township Clerk's office by 8 p.m. on Election Day.
And election polls open up in 8 days. Meridian Township has already began election inspector training in anticipation for voting day. HOMTV's Adriana Cotero takes us inside last week's training.
Vote, a one-syllable word that holds great meaning this year.
I think everybody should participate and should take an interest in their government and come out. And voting is one way that you have that opportunity when the election cycle comes around, whether it be a primary or a general election.
The Charter Township of Meridian held the mandatory training for workers conducting the election come November 8th.
This is a refresher for me. I've worked the election several times before, and I always come to the training sessions because you may learn something new, and you always do. And it's just part of giving back to the country, which is something I'm big on.
With 19 precincts in the township, Deputy Clerk Joan Horvath said there are about 10 inspectors at each location at all times.
They have to be trained with all the rules and the procedures because they're working one day, and there's a lot to remember. To be able to do an election without the workers, who would conduct the election? You have to have the workers.
The election inspectors were not only trained on how to assist voters at the precincts, but also how to process those ballots using this tabulator machine. This 2-hour training provided thorough instructions for the inspectors and left many feeling prepared.
Making a civic commitment and to help, and that's why I've stepped up to do it again. Encourage everybody to come out and vote, and hope to see you at maybe the poll where I work.
In Meridian Township, Adriana Cotero, HOMTV.
Come Election Day, voters can expect to see many of those faces helping out at the precincts. And if you're still not sure of your precinct location, you can always check online or call the Township Clerk's office.
And with general election right around the corner, candidates for the Meridian Township Treasurer were hard at work on the campaign trail. Our HOMTV's Elizabeth Crenshaw headed to the trails for the details.
Julie Brixey, Democratic candidate for Meridian Township Treasurer, is hard at work on the campaign trail. Unloading signs, neighborhood walks, phone calls, and door-to-door visits are all part of the daily grind for Julie Brixey.
It's a lot of work, and I think that most people, the first time they do it, they don't realize how much work it is.
Despite the hard work, for Brixie, it's a team effort.
You've got lots of mine, right, Julie?
We've had a great team working hard together for the campaign.
And that success comes through Democrats such as Dan Opsmer and Phil DeShane promoting each other and Brixie throughout the campaign.
And I think we have really a diverse group of people with diverse backgrounds.
And through it all, for Brixie, it's the people that she meets that keeps her going.
I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy listening to people and hearing their ideas about the township. And you really learn a lot from the people in your community.
And for Brixie, she's excited and ready to serve.
I'm really looking forward to being able to have the opportunity to serve on the township board with the new trustee candidates.
In Meridian Township, Elizabeth Crenshaw, HOMTV.
From Democratic candidate Julie Brixie to independent candidate Eric Lindquist, the work on the campaign trail continues.
Campaign, running for anything, well, since high school, I was a student government president, but that was a long time ago.
Eric Lindquist, non-party affiliate candidate for Meridian Township Treasurer, is focused on his campaign. Neighborhood walks and door-to-door visits are all part of the grueling demands of campaigning.
It's a grind, too. I got to tell you that. It's every day you're thinking about what you've got to do today for the campaign.
With the community as his focus, for Lindquist, it is all worth it.
It's fun. It's you get a chance to meet people that are interested in the campaign. They're interested in why you're running.
Lindquist brings a wealth of experience to the table and has a genuine concern for the community.
34 years is a long time to be in a career, and I've been in a number of different industries. So I've seen a lot of different ways of handling revenues and expenses and balance sheets and reconciliation of issues.
He also has a knack for teaching.
I'm pretty good at explaining things and bringing them down to a level where the layperson will understand why something needs to be done.
And for Lindquist, his focus is not only on the citizens of Meridian Township, but ensuring them that it will remain a great place to be.
I would really look forward to applying my skills and my experience to the position and hopefully make some changes and improvements and keep the things that are going well and carry forward with making Meridian Township a wonderful place to be.
In Hazlitt, Elizabeth Crenshaw, HOMTV.
And those are both on the campaign trail with Meridian Township Treasurer candidates, and we'll see what happens on Election Day.
That's right, we will. And coming up, a look at sports with HOMTV's Elizabeth Crenshaw.
Elizabeth, what do you have for us this week?
Well, thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, we'll check out the big plays of high school football playoff action and get an inside look at the big in-state rivalry between MSU and the University of Michigan. When we come back to Meridian News Now, your source for community news.
Meridian Township proudly televises its award-winning general election coverage for citizens to educate themselves on their representatives.
We want you to participate in this evening's debate by calling with your questions for the candidates at 517-349-1232, or you can tweet and Facebook a question to HOMTV using the hashtag #BallotMeridian.
Tune in and participate in debates all through the month of October on HOMTV.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
I pledge. I pledge.
I pledge.
To do my part by scooping up after my dog to have a greener Meridian.
To help lessen the spread of disease.
To reduce the 4.4 million pounds of dog poo on the ground each year.
To stop dog waste from being the third leading contributor of water pollution.
I pledge to do my part. Do you?
Pledge to clean up after your dog for a cleaner Meridian.
Well, welcome back. After a successful first 2 rounds of the CAAC Blue Tournament, the Okemos volleyball team headed to Holt for a chance at the league title. Now, the Rams had so far gone without a set loss in the conference tournament, and the last time these two teams met, back on September 20th, Holt swept Okemos in a 3-0 regular season victory. Last Tuesday looked a lot like that regular season win at first. Okemos put up a fight, but let the first few points get away from them. The Rams are up 2 games, and the third could be a decisive one. With a chance to tie at 24, Chief Sage Valency taps it over to try to trick the Rams, but they receive it. Rams Sydney Styles spikes, gets blocked by Nisha Patel, and this time Ryan Castell puts it away in front of the blockers. Nellie Thome on the serve. Holt receives it, but a double set by Allie Peterson gives the Chiefs set 3 and force a 4th one.
I feel really proud of the girls. There was no quit in them. In the third set, we could have quit, and we fought back hard to beat them 26-24. Even that last set, I thought we fought back. We just couldn't get over that hump where we could go ahead by 2 or 3 points.
I told them that, hey, we talked about this. We knew that this could happen, and we promised ourselves we would not let up, that we would make sure that we dug deep, and that we made it happen. We would change things up to make sure that we found some holes, and we would not lose energy.
The 4th set would be final. Holt Sydney Styles spikes it in the center, and Chiefs Catherine Irwin receives it a little too hard, and the ball goes out. Now the Rams are the CAAC Blue champions with 3-1 victory over the Chiefs. The Rams received the plaque and celebrated, but Okemos could have a chance at a rematch. The MHSSA Volleyball District Finals start tonight. Now moving right along, Friday, October 29th kicked off the first round of high school football playoffs as the East Lansing Trojans traveled across town to DeWitt to take on the Panthers. A crisp fall evening in DeWitt, the first round of competition for Division III high school football, the Trojans and the Panthers held each other to only 7 points in the first half. Neither teams were able to convert on downs, and a variety of penalties on both sides of the ball seemed to be a recurring theme. Early into the 4th quarter, DeWitt pulled ahead of East Lansing, ending the game with a final score of 21-7. The Panthers will take on the Mason Bulldogs next Friday for the district finals. Now, even more football. This past weekend, Michigan State and the University of Michigan met up in their annual rivalry game. The unranked Spartans fought for the chance to keep the Paul Bunyan Trophy against the number 2 ranked Wolverines. Now, Michigan State took the early lead with 7 minutes left in the first, up 7-0. MSU would have to maintain that lead, and even with strong efforts, it was tough to keep Michigan down. Jarrell Peppers in the Wildcat takes it 5 yards on the right to tie it at 7 with 4:30 in the first. And after a Spartan field goal, Michigan still up by 4. Wilton Spate throws for the incredible catch by Khalid Hill at the 1-yard line. Now, contrary to Michigan State, Michigan capitalizes from the 1- and 2-yarders. Those close plays fell in favor of the Wolverines, and they finished the half on top, 27-10. Caught on the gameplay, playing more disciplined, Spartan Tyson Smith takes down Peppers on the fake, and Michigan State holds the Wolverines to 5 points in the entire second half. Back in the game, O'Connor throws a 5-yard pass to Donnie Clorley for a touchdown with 1 second left, and Michigan State goes for 2. Connor fumbled the pitch. It's picked up by Jarrell Peppers. He takes it to the other end of the stadium to give Michigan the 32-33 victory over the Spartans. Michigan takes the Paul Bunyan Trophy back to Ann Arbor. And not only did the Spartans and Wolverines clash on the field, a weekend full of rivalry continued with this year's Great Divide. Michigan State versus University of Michigan fire departments competed to saw a car in half. Michigan State's band, cheerleaders, and fans all gathered together to cheer on the fire department as they prepared to saw a car in half. Now, the firefighters spent a lot of time prepping for the event to beat Michigan, even if that didn't happen on the field.
It's a great time. It's always a good time to have the competition between us and Ann Arbor, and so anytime that we can have some good friendly competitions, it's good. Plus, it gives the guys a chance to get their hands on the tools, so it's also some training.
As the cutting began, it took 3 blades to get through the car, finishing in a quick 1 minute and 54 seconds. MSU takes the win as U of M was right behind with 3 minutes. The fire departments have competed in this event for over 10 years, and they say they always enjoy some friendly competitions ending in a win. Well, that's all for this sports this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Now we head over to see who our pets of the week from the Capital Area Humane Society and the Ingham County Animal Control and Shelter. We have Gus, a handsome fella from the Capital Area Humane Society. He's a hefty guy at 100 pounds with a personality larger than life. Gus hasn't lived with cats before, and his previous owners have said he was even afraid of cats when he met them before. Such a gentle giant in need of a good home.
Up next, we have a special guy in need of a patient family. Meet Ernest from Ingham County Animal Control and Shelter. He appears to have had some harsh owners and is afraid to make a mistake or get in trouble. He'll need a loving family to show them that they care. More information about these pets and where to adopt them can be found on our HOMTV Facebook page.
And that's all for this week's Meridian News Now. Remember, you can stay up to date on Township News at HOMTV.net or following us online, Facebook and Twitter. I'm Brandie Yates.
And I'm Julie Dunmire. Thanks for watching.